in the Supreme Court also. As such, actually, I will not discuss more on the PIL or anything. We will listen to Jagdeep Chhokar, sir. Please welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I am kind of overwhelmed by what has been said. The issue that we are supposed to discuss is, while most Indians are becoming poorer, how MPs and MLAs accumulate huge wealth within few years of being elected. Now, I am not sure whether there is need to discuss how do they accumulate such wealth. Because I assume, and I am quite sort of confident in assuming this, that all of us who are attending the seminar or a webinar are aware of how it happens. But for the sake of, I suppose, some common understanding, let me say that it happens because MPs and MLAs become what can at best be called agents of the state. That if you want to get anything done by the government, whether the state government or the central government, or I would even go to the extent of saying by the panchayat or by the municipality or the municipal corporation, elected representatives exercise a power that originally has been conferred on them by we or us, the people. But once we give them that power, they seem to become, for want of a more polite word, they seem to become the masters, and we become the, if not the slaves, we become the janta who is at their mercy. So the fundamental issue here is that people who give this power to the elected representatives, in turn the elected representatives exercise that power to control the people. So one might even say that, there is an expression that government people are called civil servants, particularly the IAS, IPS, and so on, the higher bureaucracy. And there is a saying that these people are neither civil nor are they servants. They are not civil because when a citizen approaches them, the citizen is not treated with what to talk of respect, not even treated with MP MLA से मिलना पड़ता है, भगवान ना करे, तो आपको एड़ी चोटी का जोर लगाना पड़ता है उससे मिलने के लिए. So they are not civil and they are not servants, because they may be called civil servants, but in effect they are the bosses, and people have to behave like servants to them. So civil servants is one of the biggest misnomers that I have come across. But the tragedy is that the power is given by us. And because they exercise this power, therefore they earn what is called in economics terms rent. कि वो हमसे पैसा लेके हमारा काम करवाते हैं सरकार के थ्रू, काम करवाते हैं या काम में अड़ंगा लगाने से हमारे को प्रोटेक्शन देते हैं. So it is a vicious circle. We give them the power, then they use that power to put obstacles in our life and take money to get those obstacles removed or to facilitate our life. किसी को अपने बच्चे का अच्छे स्कूल में एडमिशन कराना है, वो केंद्रीय विद्यालय में, वो MP MLA से खुशामद करनी पड़ती है, कभी पैसे देने पड़ते हैं. किसी को बिजली का गैस का कनेक्शन लेना है, किसी को पासपोर्ट बनवाना है, ये सब चीजें हैं. अस्पताल में एडमिशन करवाना है. These are all services that the state is expected to provide to the citizens. But to avail these services, we have to pay. One, we have to pay the state, which may be a legitimate charge, but we also have to pay to the elected representative to facilitate that process. So, पैसा बनाने का basic mechanism तो यही है. But when this mechanism moves to a slightly higher level, where an industrialist wants to set up a plant which requires 2,000 acres of land, which has to be acquired, and all the legal processes have to be lubricated, and the person will make thousands of crores out of it. So such people are willing to give a significant percentage of that money, which itself runs in crores. And those crores can be, 1 crore, 10 crores, 100 crores, 1,000 crores, 10,000 crores. So उसमें कोई limit नहीं है. So obviously, MPs and MLAs amass this huge wealth through this mechanism in various forms. जो मैं कह रहा हूँ वो शायद simplified form है. It can be a more complex and complicated form, which common citizens like me may not be able to fully understand. क्योंकि इन लोगों के their tentacles are spread far and wide. Whether, I don't want to name things, कोई foreign contract है, कहीं से कुछ सामान खरीदना है, कहीं कुछ सामान बेचना है, उसमें सैकड़ों करोड़ का लेन देन हो जाता है as a facilitation money या bribe कह लीजिए उसको. So this is how money is made. Now, to me, a more important question might be, what is it that can be done about it? Which is a huge question. I don't claim to have any answers, but I will share some speculations. First of all, till about 20 years ago or 23 years ago, when we started our work, ये पता भी नहीं था कि किसके पास कितनी संपत्ति है. पता तो शायद अब भी नहीं है. But now, as a result of a Supreme Court judgment, which sort of resulted from PILs filed by ADR and some other agencies, every candidate contesting election has to declare his or her assets, and the assets of his or her dependents like spouse, minor children, and so on. And they also have to declare their liabilities. कि उन्होंने कहाँ से कितना लोन लिया हुआ है, so on and so forth. This information is now available since 2004 Lok Sabha election for every person who has contested a parliament or state assembly election since 2004. So the database is about 150,000, 200,000 individuals in the country, which covers a very, very large portion of all the politicians of all political parties. Now, it is this data which shows us without any doubt that a person who decides to contest an election and who does contest an election either on behalf of one party or the other, the income of a candidate between 5 years of 2 elections goes up by, let us say, 10 times of a candidate. अगर वो कैंडिडेट जीत जाता है इलेक्शन में, तो उसकी कीमत फॉर एग्जाम्पल हाइपोथेटिकली 10 की बजाय 100 गुना बढ़ती है. और अगर वो जीत के मिनिस्टर बन जाता है तो उसकी आमदनी शायद 1000 गुना बढ़ती है. तो ये जो पैटर्न है, इससे साफ जाहिर होता है कि द अमाउंट ऑफ मनी पीपल मेक इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द पावर दे एक्सरसाइज. A minister exercises more power than an MLA or an MP. An MP and an MLA exercises more power than somebody who contested the election and lost. By the way, those who contest the election and lose and contest the next election, उनकी भी जरूरत से ज्यादा बढ़ती है. So politics or being in politics attracts money. ये डेटा तो ये पिछले 20-25 साल के डेटा से ये जाहिर है कि ये होता है. Now we have attempted that we have got the election commission to give this data to the directorate of DGTD, no, not DGTD, direct taxes.
Revenue intelligence?
No. Central Bureau of Direct Taxes, CBDT.
CBDT, Kanpur.
Income Tax Department. तो ये Income Tax Department को we have ensured that the Election Commission sends them CDs of this data with the request that where there has been an undue increase in the wealth of a person over the last 5 years, those cases should be investigated and they should be asked to explain how come their assets have increased more than 100-fold and so on. But to the best of my knowledge, there has been no information given back to the Election Commission by the Income Tax Department. So Income Tax Department, I will assume or I will draw this inference that Election Commission, that the Income Tax Department has not acted that on that information, which is not surprising because Income Tax Department history has been of this kind, that they are also selective in how they work. So the question is then, what can we as citizens do to make sure that this seemingly undue increase or illegitimate increase in the income and assets and the wealth of elected that does not happen? As I said, there are no simple answers, there are no answers, but it seems that a possible way out, according to my limited understanding, is the question we need to ask is, how does one become a candidate to contest an election? Now, the answer to that is fairly straightforward. आपको political party से ticket मिलना चाहिए. Now, ticket political party किसको देती है, क्यों देती है, किस वजह से देती है, this is a mystery to which nobody has the answer. Political parties, when we press them and when they are put under pressure, they often say that tickets are given on the basis of winnability. Now, winnability की क्या-क्या properties हैं, क्या-क्या dimensions हैं, वो भी किसी को पता नहीं है. In some place, winnability may mean that you have enough money to run a very, very expensive election. You have money that you give to the party so that the party can give the money to other candidates, etc., etc. So if you have a large or a huge amount of money, you may be a winnable candidate. तो जिसको हिंदी में कहते हैं जिताऊ उम्मीदवार. In some places, the winnable candidate might be the one who has the maximum muscle power, who is able to not only threaten and browbeat the voters into voting for him or her, he or she can also browbeat other candidates and sabotage the other candidates' election campaigns. So, कहीं धन बल है, कहीं बाहुबल है, कहीं there is a combination of or a calculation of the caste, community, religion, population proportion. यहाँ इस जाति के इतने लोग हैं तो वो इसको वोट देंगे, इस धर्म के इतने लोग हैं तो वो उसको वोट देंगे. कहीं ये भी हो सकता है और कहीं कहीं इन चीजों का कॉम्बिनेशन भी होता है. ज्यादातर जगहों में कॉम्बिनेशन ही होता है. Tragically, the issue that is the person who has done the most work for the people in that constituency, उसका नाम या नंबर कहीं नहीं होता है. So the fundamental issue is, how do candidates either get chosen, identified, or how does normal voters or a voter become a candidate? This power today rests with the head of the party. Now, the head of the party may be one individual, it may be 2 or 3 individuals, it may be 5, 6 individuals, and it may be an undefined entity called the High Command, or there are various words for this. तो एक ये सेंटर ऑफ पावर है पॉलिटिकल पार्टी में, जो सारी पावर कंट्रोल करता है, जो सारे पैसे कंट्रोल करता है, जिसके पास पार्टी का करता धरता उसको कहना चाहिए. तो दैट पर्सन और दैट ग्रुप ऑफ पर्सन्स, हाई कमांड भी कहा जाता है, दे कैन डिसाइड कि किसको टिकट देना है. And because they have this power to make a person a candidate, every candidate, 2-4 इक्के दुक्के इंडिपेंडेंट्स को छोड़ दीजिए, और उनका तो जीतना भी बहुत कम हो गया है. करंट लोकसभा में शायद 3 और 4 इंडिपेंडेंट हैं, पहले ज्यादा होते थे. तो हर कैंडिडेट, every candidate is beholden to the person who has given him or her the ticket. अच्छा, टिकट मिलने के बाद ही ए कैंडिडेट स्टार्ट्स गोइंग टू दी वोटर्स. तो वोटर्स के पास जाके वो फिर उनकी वोट मांगते हैं, उनको पैसे देते हैं, शराब देते हैं, और तरह तरह के प्रलोभन देते हैं, जिसको कुछ लोग रेवड़ी कहते हैं, कुछ फ्री भी कहते हैं, और तरह तरह के नाम हैं. लेकिन अगर वो कोई भी कैंडिडेट जब इलेक्शन जीत जाता है, तो his or her primary allegiance is not to the voter, it is to the ticket giver. क्योंकि अगर if the ticket giver had not given him or her the ticket, the question of a voter voting for him does not arise. तो जो टिकट देता है वो हमारे इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव का अन्नदाता होता है, या करता धरता प्रभु, जो भी कह लीजिए आप. तो एन इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव डज नॉट ओ एनी एलिजियंस टू दोज हु वोट फॉर हिम. हिज फुल एलिजियंस इज टू द पर्सन हु गेव हिम द टिकट. देयरफॉर जब इलेक्शन जब चल रहा होता है, तो कैंडिडेट आपके आगे आके हाथ जोड़ता है, और वो आपसे मिलना चाहता है, वो डोर टू डोर कैंपेनिंग करते हैं. एक दफा वो इलेक्शन जीत गए, फिर आप उनके आगे हाथ जोड़ते हैं, लेकिन वो फिर भी टिकट देने वाले के हाथ जोड़ते हैं, क्योंकि उनको फिर 5 साल बाद उसी टिकट देने वाले के पास जाना पड़ेगा. और वो जो पैसा कमाते हैं, जिससे वो when they amass all this wealth, उसका शायद कुछ हिस्सा वो टिकट देने वाले को भी जाता हो. इसके बारे में कहना बहुत मुश्किल है, क्योंकि कोई डेटा नहीं है, कोई पूरी पक्की रिलायबल इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है, अंदाजा ही लगाया जा सकता है. सो द फंडामेंटल इशू हियर इज दैट द सिलेक्शन ऑफ कैंडिडेट्स इज नॉट डन इन ए डेमोक्रेटिक वे. इट इज डन entirely autocratically and single-handedly by the so-called high command of the party. Now, this is because our political parties, all of them, none of them is a democratic organization in the way they function. किसी भी पार्टी में उनके प्रेसिडेंट, सेक्रेटरी, ट्रेजरर और जितने पार्टी के पदाधिकारी होते हैं, उनका इलेक्शन नहीं होता. इलेक्शन होता है तो वो फेक और शैम इलेक्शन होता है, सर्वसम्मति से सब कुछ हो जाता है. तो पॉलिटिकल पार्टियों को डेमोक्रेटिक ना होना इस चीज की जड़ है. दूसरे तरीके से भी इसको देखें तो हम इस बात को बड़े we say it very proudly that we are a vibrant democracy. And according to some latest pronouncements, India is the mother of democracy in the world. So India is a vibrant democracy. It is a mother of democracy, but the political parties, which are the pillars on which the democracy rests, all those pillars are non-democratic, completely non-democratic. Therefore, it is not wrong to say, according to me, that our democracy is hollow. क्योंकि the pillars of our democracy are not democratic. हिंदी में कहें तो ये कहेंगे कि हमारा लोकतंत्र खोखला है, क्योंकि जो स्तंभ जो हमारी डेमोक्रेसी को उठाए हुए हैं वो लोकतांत्रिक नहीं है. तो जब तक राजनीतिक दलों को आधिकारिक रूप से लोकतांत्रिक नहीं किया जाएगा, unless political parties are made demonstrably democratic in their internal functioning, मेरे ख्याल में ये जो लूट खसोट चल रही है ये चलती रहेगी. क्योंकि unless the elected representative feels answerable to the voters, then nothing is going to work. If the candidates or each political party are elected democratically by the members of that political party, then they will feel responsible to the voters. So long as the candidates are chosen by the party high command or the party leader or party supremo, then the elected representatives will not feel answerable to the voters. And unless an elected representative does not feel answerable to the voters, the question of there being a democracy does not arise. And that is why we as voters are not able to challenge an elected representative that you had so much assets in 5 years ago and now you have 20 times that. How do you make this money? There is a law called the where people can be charged under the Anti-Corruption Law, Prevention of Corruption Act for having assets disproportionate to the known sources of income. Now, it is also established by law that elected representatives are public servants, and therefore they are liable to be charged under the Prevention of Corruption Act for having assets disproportionate to their known sources of income. But no anti-corruption department or organization has ever done that. That is because that they exercise this informal power, and all these enforcement agencies, whether it is income tax or ED or intelligence bureau or whatever that is, they all are, they select people to follow, knowingly and particularly in a certain way. They are not functioning as independent, neutral authorities. So the basic issue is making political parties democratic in their internal functioning. जब तक वो नहीं होता है, तब तक this amassing of wealth will continue. I am sorry, I have no other revolutionary solution to offer. This is what I think is the situation, and this is what I think can be done. How it is going to be done is an issue that we can discuss, which is also very difficult, extremely difficult. But unless we get to do that, I don't think the situation will change. So I will stop here. Thank you very much, and I'll be around if there's any questions subsequently or so on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. There will be questions. Basically this forum is of RTI activists, and you can suggest some questions, etc., so that these people can also take it up. मैं अभी जो आगे के लिए जाऊं उसके पहले दो बात बताना चाहता हूं.